Vietnam's trade surplus to the U.S. has President Trump proposing reciprocal tariffs of 46%. AgDay's Michelle Rook recently traveling to Vietnam. She kicks off a series of reports today, starting with efforts to grow U.S. ag exports to the country. Now, she traveled with South Dakota farmers working to expand soybean meal exports.
With the expansion of the soy processing industry in the Midwest to crush more soybeans for soybean oil for biofuels, South Dakota soybean farmers are looking for a new home for this soybean meal, and they're finding it here in Vietnam. The soybean processing industry is planning to expand crush capacity by 30% in the Midwest in the next few years, which is driving the need to grow meal exports.
You know, we're crushing for oil in the United States right now, so the meal supply is going to get larger.
We cannot consume with our livestock industry a lot more. We hope we get some expansion, but right now the best thing to do is to try to find homes for that meal. And China is not it. China is a whole bean market.
U.S. meal exports are on the rise, and this year are projected at nearly 16 million metric tons. But volume will ramp up quickly.
If all the crush plants that were announced and actually come to fruition, we might be at a 22 to 23 million metric ton market. We're going to just about double our meal exports in the next couple of years. So we're going to have to find a place for that to go.
When it comes to export growth, Vietnam is a prime choice.
Whereas some of the other markets in Southeast Asia, the U.S. has a very good footprint, and we might see some incremental increases in the meal exports, but not a substantial growth opportunity like Vietnam.
The farmer delegation told Vietnam buyers the meal surplus will drive U.S. prices down compared to South America.
Everybody feels the quality is better from U.S. soy, but it still comes down to price. And so hopefully with the meal, producing more meal, we can be more competitive.
Logistically, meal from northwestern Corn Belt states like South Dakota are also exported through the PNW, and Vietnam is the closest market from there, providing a freight advantage.
It's usually about a 20-day transit from the PNW, and South America can sometimes be 40 days, so they're going to get a much more fresher product.
The other selling points of U.S. meal include its consistency, sustainability, and nutritional value.
And we had to explain to them about the quality of soybeans we have, and it goes to the essential amino acids of our soybean over the Brazilian soybeans.
You know, we've talked about sustainability, we've talked about the amino acids and energy, and you know, they are finding out we have a lot of research, and with this research we're going to be able to help them.
Vietnam's feed and animal industry relies on meal imports as they have only 4 processors, crushing around 1.2 million metric tons of soybeans annually.
Every year, Vietnam imports about 5.7 to 5.9 million metric tons of soybean meal from all origin.
But currently, the U.S. has only 16% share of that market.
And last year, 2024, U.S. soybean meal import to Vietnam almost 1 million metric tons.
So there is room to grow, and that's why U.S. and South Dakota farmers want to build stronger relationships with their customers through trade missions.
It gives me a lot of hope as a young producer that as our yields continue to rise, there's so many countries ready to take our product as well.
So I think it's great for us as producers and board members to go out and shake those people's hands and say thank you, and let's grow. Let's grow together, because when they make money, we make money.
In Vietnam, I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Day.